glad to be here, grateful to be here today, and we had such a wealth of information. And so my session, talking about keeping a healthy appetite for success, and how do we implement all of this great information that we have so that it can apply to our business, so that we can grow and that we can succeed. So just by a raise of hands, how many of us have a side hustle, and how many of us are full entrepreneurs? So side hustlers first. Let's see. Okay. And how many are full entrepreneurs? And how many are in corporate America and are just hanging by the thread? Great. Well, yes, you see here it says Corporate Mom Dropouts, and that's my first book. That's how I identified myself when I left corporate America. So to be brief, I decided to take all of the information, all of the sessions that I've attended, the networking that I've done to build a business, and I said, you know what, I'm a corporate mom dropout, and there's a niche or a niche of women out there, moms out there who have a passion, and they would love to leave corporate America because they are hanging by a thread as well. Jobs are great, but I knew there was more to it. I knew there was more to me, and I knew there was more than just attending these networking events and meeting these fabulous people and going to sessions such as this. I wanted to add that to my business. I wanted to say, I have a book, I have a business. This is something that I do, and I'm glad to do it. So, let's see if I this is all, you know, check it. I don't do PowerPoints. This is new. So keeping a healthy appetite for success. And one of the things that I'm talking about is how do we create this meal plan for our lives? Not an apple, an orange, adding more greens to your plate, but so that we can cover what I consider the Fab Five. And this is one of the quotes before we begin that you can just look at. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We don't have time for that. But when you look at the Fab Five, which we'll go into, how are you balancing and how are you implementing all of this innovation, all of this inspiration, all of these networking events into your life? So the Fab Five, if you have a pen and paper out, is your family, your friends, fitness, finances, and your faith. How are you including all of that? How are you including the inspiration? How are you including the innovation? And now how are you actually implementing and balancing this thing all out? Because if you're not covering the Fab Five, something will fall to the wayside and everything will go haywire. So you want to make sure that all of this is balanced. But first you have to understand what you're called to do and who you are. What you're called to do and who you are. Because if not, then we'll start operating like someone else. I don't want to operate, Oprah Winfrey's rich. I don't want to operate like Oprah Winfrey. I want to operate like Lucinda Cross. Agnella Banzacci's doing a hell of a job. But I want to operate like Lucinda Cross. Lucinda Cross is called to greatness. You're called to greatness. And when you understand that, then you're able to implement this in your Fab Five in your own life. So knowing who you are is critical to your personal and professional growth. How can you implement if you don't know who you are and who you serve? So before you understand your clients, before you understand what business you're in, you have to understand, well, who am I? What am I actually doing? And knowing who you are doesn't mean that you identify yourself by your skills, your talents, your degree, your resume, your position, your label, or your feelings. In corporate America, I describe myself based on my resume. And the more I was able to build my resume to 2-3 pages, the more fulfilled I thought I was feeling. But there's no greater fulfillment than actually building your own bio, actually seeing your name on your product. And this comes from implementation. This comes from taking the time to understand that I need to focus on my faith. I need to focus on my family. I need to focus on my friends and who's in my inner circle. I need to focus on how I'm spending quality time with my children as a corporate mom dropout and not getting caught into not paying them any attention. So how can I implement in my business and making sure that my Fab Five is taken care of? So how do you identify yourself now? And many of us have this identity crisis. We want to be like the next greatest business. We want to be like the competitor. Well, guess what? Authenticity has no competition. We don't need to compete with anyone else but yourself. Compete with your next sale. Compete with who you are, the greatness that you have. So here we go. Authenticity has no competition. And it's not what you eat, it's what's eating you. So what's eating you right now? Is it the family because there's lack? Is it your faith because you're just not taking out the time to pray, you're not taking out the time to meditate, you're not taking the time to get balanced? So you're attending meetings, you're running into an ambush all the time. As when I started my business, I just had this rush of always, I would run into an ambush all the time. Running into meetings when you're just not even just on time. I would run in maybe 10 minutes afterwards, and it was always an ambush trying to gather myself together. So I was way off balance. And so I had to stop this ambush feeling. The ambush feeling that I used to crave because in corporate America, everything is fast, everything's on time, everything you have to, and I said, I have to stop it because I need to be centered. So what was eating me was my time. So what's eating you? What's eating you? What's stopping you from getting to that next level? And your three greatest assets that you have to make sure that you, once again, stay centered, but that you continue to implement on is your time, your undivided attention, and your resources. And I would even include one more bonus, your intellectual capital. The things that you've studied, the things that you went to school for, the things that you've cried about, the things that you've talked about, the books that you've read, your time, your undivided attention, and your resources. We give that up so freely. We give it up so free, and we see in the beginning of the presentation, he said, not for free. One of the commandments, I think it was number 2 or number 3, no longer for free. Your time is valuable. Your undivided attention is valuable. Your resources, the network, the people that you're connected with, that's extremely important. So change your I statements. Your I statements feed you, you statements bleed you. Think of 5 I statements. I am, who am I? I am great. I am victorious. I am prosperous. And it's not just saying affirmations, but this is what will push you towards completing your goals. Many of us don't complete the goals because we stand on what other people tell us that we are. Oh, you are this and you are that. There we go, falling right off again. So let's stay focused on who we are and the I statements that actually feed us to accomplish our goals. Life plus business plan equals an appetite for success. You have to have a life plan. What does your life look like 20 years from now? What does your life look like 10 years from now? And your business plan. Do you have a lifestyle business? Is your business and your lifestyle, does it go together? Does 1 + 1 equal 2, or is it off? Are you looking for this extravagant lifestyle, but you don't have a business plan that clearly lays out the path to growth? So I say here, you have to have a family meal plan. How are you going to make sure that your family gets the time, undivided attention, and the resources that they need to grow? What about your finances? What can we start to skim back on? What do we need to invest in? The first thing that I did when I left corporate America was I went to get a business coach and a mentor. I said, I cannot do this by myself, and I should not do this by myself. And now I'm proud to say that I mentor women all across the country, all across the globe now, because I couldn't find one out there. No one knew who they were. Everyone was going with the you statements. They didn't know who they were, and it was always competition amongst women. So now I'm here to create a network of women who understand who they are. They understand that authenticity has no competition, and we have to show up and show out. So in your finance meal plan, what do you need to cut back on, and who do you need to invest in? Fitness meal plan. There's no way that I can travel all around and do all the things that I'm doing if I don't keep fit and watch what I eat. Because fatigue will hit real quick. I can't have the smothered fried chicken that I love so much all the time. I can't, as much as I want to, and I love Popeye's chicken too. I love that. But so there's a time for that, and there's a time that I have to eat salad. Like I was talking to my friend, there's a time that I have to eat salad because I have to stay fit. I have to work out. I need the strength. If God is opening up doors for me, I have to be prepared and equipped to show up and not be lagging behind. Friends, your friends meal plan. Who are you connected with? It's not about your toxic relationships, but bringing your toxic relationships into events like this, into summits like this, so that they can also grow. So now you're building a power and a circle of influence, and it's not, oh, I gotta leave my toxic friends alone. No, let's raise them up as well, so that we all can grow. And there's some people that we do need to lead away from. Then your faith meal plan. How are you meditating? How are you fasting? How are you praying? How are you staying grounded and connected? That's one of the biggest reasons why I left corporate America, because not only did I not know who I was as a mother, they gave me the title, oh, you're a great mom. Well, I wanted to be more than a great mom. And I didn't just leave corporate America because of my children. That would be a lie. That was only 40% of it. I left because I was frustrated. I was losing my connection with God. I was losing my connection with myself. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. I was just tired of showing up. And so I just showed up 2 hours late, took 3-hour lunches. So make sure that your meal plan, yeah, I can talk about it now. Make sure that your meal plan covers your Fab Five. And then this is what you say, I need to supersize my life. When you look at this, I need to supersize what I do with my family, supersize how I'm praying, supersize my fitness, my friends. I need to supersize my life. We're supersizing the wrong thing. Leave those chicken nuggets alone. So I'm just going to go through this real quick because I don't know how much time I have, and I'll talk all the time, and I love to talk. So changing your conversation, one thing that I want you guys to start doing is to change your conversation. Some of us are either having the wrong conversation or we're having no conversation at all. If you're here and you're showing up, who do you need to meet? Is it a sponsor? Is it an investor? Is it a business partner? Is it a support person? Is it a virtual assistant? Who do you need office space? Why are you here today besides showing up for me? Okay, see me on the slide. Or him. But change your conversation. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let's start to think before we speak, so that what comes out of our mouth, we're able to receive what we're asking God for, what we're asking people for, what's on the business plan. We're able to receive it. So when you open your mouth, make sure that it's strategic and it's on point. If you have no idea about this 15-second pitch or all this stuff that you have on your business card, listen, I'm an expert. If you know how to do cupcakes, then that's what you're an expert in. If you know how to make organic dog biscuits, you be proud and confident in it. Key takeaways, take a glance. 5, 4, 3, 2. Understand the link between who you are and who people think you are. Understand the power of conversations, the internal staff meeting. You know those people that tell you that you can't do it, you shouldn't do it, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough time, you don't look the part. Yeah, get away from that internal staff meeting that happens. Understand behaviors that drive revenue and sustainability. Understand the elements of the Fab Five meal plan and become a conscious brand, which we'll hear more about that, about branding. Books you should own, Strength Finder 2.0 by Tom Rath. Excellent book. Focuses on your strengths. Influence, it's the psychology of influence. He talks to you in that book about how to connect with people, and not just to influence and persuade people out of their money, but how to really get people. And not just, hey, this is what I do, this is why I do it, and people don't get that. You're bum rushing them with all the stuff. Tell me the benefits, tell me why I need you. But first you have to understand what you're doing. And then the road to redemption, oh, shameless plug, shouldn't have had that. Books are over there. Yeah, we have. And so in closing, remember your calling, which is number 1. Remember who you are, and not what people tell you who you are, but remember who you are. As someone who is an innovator, as someone who is an inspirator, as someone who's ready to implement and take action. One of my favorite words, you find me on social media, on Facebook, I always put out an activate post. It's all about activation. It's all about taking action, inspired action, not just getting caught in the doing, but take some action today. Take some action today. What is one thing that you're going to do and stay consistent with it for the next 30 days without having the shiny object syndrome? And I guarantee you that you'll see some sort of success. Without me staying focused, this second book would not have been done. Or the first one, or me even being here. So we have to stay focused to our calling. We have to stay true to who we are and what we stand for, so that we can be blessed abundantly. So I thank you for your time, and